Welcome back, everyone. We have two Kyles from Bodysnatcher. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
Great,
I just
great.
just got my mail in. It was pretty cool. It's right there. I,
Nice.
I didn't really have time to kind of put it away. I kind of opened it and then was like, oh, whoops. So, but yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's
Yeah,
raining outside right now. My roof has roof damage still, and it got fixed last week, but he didn't fix it. So
nice.
he came in and he goes, "Well, I patched that," and I was like, "Well, it's still dripping
Still,
water, so
still
you didn't."
dripping.
Yeah, so you didn't, dude. So, but other than that, I'm good.
So the hurricane hit you worse than it hit the other Kyle?
No, the hurricane didn't hit me. I've had kind of, dude. No, you're stepping on literally everything, dude. Um, but yeah, no, it didn't hit my side of the state really too bad. It hit your side of the state, I think,
hmm
way worse. I just got
Yeah,
wind and stuff, but as far as like my roof damage, I think that's kind of been like a thing that's been going on for like a little bit. It just happens with whatever townhouses or apartments or whatever. I think you just kind of have problems here and there. So but it
yeah.
just so happened to a hurricane hit and he
Right.
didn't fix it properly.
Right.
Basically is what happened. So, but
Well, before we get into talking about the EP, I gotta ask you since I found this out. There's three Kyles of you guys. How
mhm.
do you guys get all your work done with, you know, three Kyles?
uh, we usually go by last names.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, none of us like being called by our last names, but
Oh, I hate
that's
it.
just that's just how we have to do it, or else everyone's going to turn their head anytime anyone says Kyle.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
Well, let's get into this, guys. You guys just
yeah,
released Vile Conduct, and it was an EP. What made you guys do an EP over a full length?
I think we just kind of mutually decided it was time to do another EP. I don't know if there was
hmm
any real like debate between a full length or not. I think we just kind of pitched it and everyone was just like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that and like also people's attention span
Right.
is much
Yeah,
shorter now,
like
so it's like we kind of
we
figured
had
an
the
EP would be
plan.
better.
Yeah, we had the plan to kind of like release every song as a single.
Hmm.
So we
hmm
just wanted to do it that way, and having 10 songs wouldn't have worked with that plan anyways.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that's easier releasing singles compared to like just throwing out a full length or an EP?
I think the songs get more attention, like
Yeah.
individually. Like I think everyone has heard everything that we did, but
Yeah.
with like a full length, a year will go by, and then people will post about one of the random songs on the album as if it's a new song
Yeah.
and
hmm
like that they've never heard.
That and like
Which, yeah,
I don't know about you, but like, and this isn't just like I guess this is more just a broad statement, but like with me, even since I was like high school, like in high school, whenever I'd
mm,
listen to a band, you like I feel like when there's more songs to pick from, you kind of like gravitate to like four or five of them anyway, and then there's like
hmm
14 songs on an album, and you just really don't, you know what I mean? Like you don't really like venture out of that, and that's not really like I don't know if that's just speaking for me because I know there is people that will be like, nope, I've listened to all 14 songs. And I do that regularly, but I don't. Like I'll be like, oh,
I
these are the
think
ones
there
I like,
are
and then that's it.
I think there are like perfect albums out there,
Sure.
but it's hard to get 10
Yeah.
unskippable tracks.
Yeah,
I
dude.
agree. I agree.
I could probably
Yeah.
name I could probably name four off the top of my head, but then after that I'd be like, I don't know.
hmm
Right. And then going into the CP, were these all new tracks or were any of these archive songs that you guys reworked from past records?
These were all new ones. Now
Yeah.
we have some archived ones that didn't make it on the EP that we're gonna rework for the next thing.
Yeah.
But for
hmm
this EP, these were all like brand new.
I'm pretty sure we had like originally we had like 13 or 14 different ones,
Yeah,
right? It was
there
like a
were a
lot of
lot.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was like aspects of certain songs that we took from those songs and put them in
hmm
the newer ones as well.
Yeah.
Crazy. And this is your guys' first release since 2022. When did the writing and recording process start? And was it different from different records that you guys have done?
The
Um,
the big difference would be Will Putney, like just having somebody that's not in
yeah.
the band because usually, well, even before Kyle was in the band, we would work with Chris even for like the really early stuff,
Mhm.
but
hmm
like Chris has basically done like worked with the band for like I'd say close to the inception of the band. Like the only one he didn't do was like the first EP, but like, so him being there, even when he wasn't in the band, he's kind of like known what the band was going to sound like and like what it should sound like. So it's like when we finally had somebody that was like outside of the band have an opinion and like be able to work with it, it was like, it changes a lot.
Brain.
Yeah, it changes a lot because like, obviously Chris hears a lot of bands and like produces a lot of bands, but like when it's your own band, I think that's different too. I feel like, so you kind of like, not that he has tunnel vision or that you get tunnel vision, but I think it's like, it's different when you've done your own band for so long and then you have another dude that obviously knows what your band should sound like comes in and is like, this is what I think.
Yeah.
You know.
And so to answer the first part of that, the writing started pretty much the end of 2022. Because like he said before, we did like, I think I ended up with like 13, 14 tracks
like 14,
of like unfinished. Yeah. Only a few of them were like fully finished, but there were like 14 different like half songs or like almost finished songs.
Yeah.
And then it carried on all the way until we recorded it in, I think, September 2023 is when we recorded it.
That's crazy.
Is it really that long ago? Holy shit.
Yeah, it's been a year. Yeah.
Wow. That sucks. Yeah. That time flies way too quick. Holy crap.
And right now I have, maybe one song finished for new stuff. And it's been a whole year that I could have been working on it, but I like to take breaks. Some people are like, they want to continuously write, but I like to take breaks. So it's like,
you don't want to force feeling. You don't want to force things either, because then it's going to feel like you're just kind of, I don't know. It doesn't feel right when you force it.
Yeah. It'll all just sound the same.
That's like when everybody asks me about like songwriting or like lyrics or anything like that. I'm just like, I had this conversation with Chris not too long. I say not too long ago, but this was like probably months ago at this point. But I'm like, there hasn't been anything bad in my life recently. So I'm like, I don't know what to say. What am I going to talk about? There's nothing that, like, I've exhausted that over the span of like 3 albums. So like, what, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like when you do take a break and you don't like force it, it comes out a little bit more genuine than just like trying to put stuff on paper that's not really like,
you have to let there be a chance to get new inspiration.
Yeah, for sure. Not to say that I can't like, write something cool or take experience, but I'm saying more so like when you force it, it doesn't, sometimes it won't come out the way you want it to.
Right. And with you saying that, does that mean you get really personal with your lyrics since you haven't had anything to say?
I mean,
we always try to be as personal and as real as we can. With whether it be like super specific things or things we just are passionate about, like beliefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, like even the first, like I can't remember which interview this was, but I did an interview pretty recently. I want to say this was like 2 weeks ago, and I had a kind of a similar question. Even when the band first started, it was like, the EP is about people in my town. Like all those songs are about a different person in my town. So it's like all been personal since the beginning. You know what I mean? So it's like we try to keep it that way. And obviously when you have more than one person writing, it helps a lot more because you're not burning out the one person. And then they're like, well, I don't know what to say anymore. I've already said everything. You know what I mean? So it's cool when everybody can kind of pool all those ideas and be personal.
Yeah.
Right. And with this new record, do either of you have favorite lyrics?
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I like the song. Well, I like Severed a lot. That's the one with like the clicker. If you ever have seen The Last of Us or played that game, it's got the clicker sample at the end. I also wrote that song. I like a lot of the lines in that song. I like Murder 8 is a good one too. I feel like there's a lot of very memorable lines in that one. Like, I think, I don't know. There's a lot of lines that were delivered very well, but I think both of those songs have stuff that I really like in those songs.
Yeah, I have ones that I like for for reasons of like the delivery, it was really well like severed. The lines are like really catchy and like short, and they get stuck in your head easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's songs that, you know, that I am super like attached to because I wrote them, you know. I don't know. I probably would say if I had to pick a favorite, it would be Murder 8, even though neither one of us wrote it.
Yeah, it's got a lot
just because
of
it hits, man.
personal.
I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
real. It's like extremely like raw and real, and just the lines are good. It's really well
It
written.
makes you feel for Chris. It really
Yeah,
does.
yeah,
Like when Chris sent me those song lyrics, I remember he texted them to me. This was like
yeah.
before the song was even like instrumentally like done. He was like
Mm-hmm.
he sent me the lyrics in a text, and I was like, dude. I literally responded. I said, dude, are you okay? Holy fuck.
Yeah,
I felt
I read the
bad.
one
Like I read them
line.
and was like, fuck,
I
dude.
remember reading them, and then the one line, the fentanyl line at the end of the song, really
Mm-hmm.
stuck out, and I was just like, "Whoa!"
That was like
And
the
I think that's what I texted him. I was just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, I remember when we put out Dead Rabbit, he already had that like he already had that one pretty much planned out while we were on
Yeah.
tour. Like he was talking about that in the van. Like that was when Adam had passed, and he
Mm-hmm.
already was like, I already have these ideas for this, and I want to say this. And I remember when he sent me the song lyrics, like when he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this? Should I change anything?" And I was like, dude, do you really
Yeah.
feel that bad? Holy shit. Like,
Yeah.
God, like, cause they're pretty like, I felt like just the whole Chris section in that song, I'm like, ugh, like it
Yeah.
really makes you feel for the guy. But
It's crazy.
I felt like I really liked to circle back around that, not to talk too much, but I severed. I really liked the lyrics "bathed in sin." I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that while we were talking about that. I was like pretty proud of that. I was like, that's a pretty cool line. So
Right.
Yeah. Like
um,
very memorable lines that just
Right.
like stick out.
yeah,
Like
bathed in
cool
sin.
wording.
Your flesh and blood turning on you. I thought was pretty
Right.
Mm-hmm.
cool.
That is
But
pretty fucking cool.
yeah, we did a Naruto shirt that was pretty cool. That like went with that. I don't know. I thought it was pretty awesome that we're able to take things that are like from pop culture, things that we like, and then put them on t-shirts with those
Mm-hmm.
lyrics. I think it's cool.
The new one, dude, the Dead Space one.
Dude, yeah, that one's cool.
Dude.
That
It
is,
says
yeah.
it says kill the parasite on the back, and that goes along with Dead Space and
Oh
one of the new
yeah.
songs.
That's pretty
Cool
cool.
to be able to come up with shit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to do another Halo one, but there's a guy that draws. Not to get away from your questions, but there's a guy that draws these fucking things that are so badass, but it takes him a while because he hand paints them on his computer,
It's
and he does a
crazy.
ton of different bands. But we want to do another Halo one because we did a Halo one last year that just
Yeah.
absolutely just smashed, and
Right.
we have another line that's nothing can stop the flood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I always
and then put the
blank.
flood on.
Yeah, I always,
Yeah.
dude. Whenever people ask me about lyrics, I blank on them. Even though when we go to play them, they come out immediately, like just
Right.
the muscle memory. But if you were to be like, "What's your favorite lyrics?" or "What about these lyrics?" I'm like, I can't think of them off the top of my head. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I'm the same way.
It's like on the spot. I feel like it's probably the same thing for like guitar. If somebody's like, "You should play this right now," you'd be like,
Yeah, I have to
I don't
play
know
like the
how."
whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I am. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think lyrics are definitely important. I think they're something that you got to put effort into and shit that people need to grab onto, or else they're gonna
Right.
just forget about it.
I agree. And what are some of your favorite moments recording this? Like I know with Lorna Shore, they like to do like rituals. So one of their things they like to watch feel good movies while they're doing recording. So what's your guys'
We
thing?
played a lot of Call of Duty.
Yeah. Oh, and also, well, because like when you record, a lot of people that like maybe have never been through the recording processes, it's a lot of sitting around. You just sit around, and when you're not
I
doing
did
something, you
a
sit around.
lot. I
Yeah.
did a lot of guitar stuff.
Yeah.
And Medina had to do vocals, but at the end. So we were
Right.
there for like what,
Dude, we were there for 2.5 weeks, and I
and
felt
Medina
like
did his
I
stuff
was
in like the last few days.
Dude, I felt like I was trapped at grandma's house. Like there's nothing
yeah.
to do. You just like sit there and you're like, what do I do?
Some days none of us would be doing anything because Will had to like leave and do something with one of his other bands that he works with, and then he would come back, and then we would do stuff like that night. So the entire day we're just like sitting, doing nothing.
And then
I feel like I gained like 10 pounds when we were there.
Dude, I had to do vocals, but the problem with that was that Will was like, I want to be the one to track them, so you can't do anything.
So you have to wait until I'm available.
Because like Steve, the guy that works with him, was there, but he was like, yeah, you can track some with Steve, and then he got back and he was like, I want to do all the vocals. I'm like, okay. So I would have to wait when Will would leave. But yeah, I mean, we just played Call of Duty and watched Netflix the whole time. I mean,
yeah, it was honestly pretty boring most of the time.
Yeah.
Sounds very.
We should do some more fun stuff next time, like have like rituals and movies planned out and stuff like that.
Well, the only reason was because like he also lives kind of, not that he lives in the middle of nowhere, but like he lives like in this community where basically if you want to go do something, it's like a 20-minute drive. So like it would have to be like pulling teeth every time, because we're like, well, do you want to drive 20 minutes just to go to McDonald's or the mall or whatever? And you know what I mean? Like it's just like, I don't know. But yeah, we should plan out more things. It's just kind of hard because like certain days we'd be like, well, what are we doing today? And then it was like, oh, well, we're doing this, but we don't know how long it's going to take. So we don't really want to like just leave and then be kind of boned and left here. You know what I mean? So it was like, fuck.
That makes sense. Yeah. So you guys had Jamie Justa collab with you guys. How long did you guys want to collab with him? And who else would you guys love to collab with on the next record?
Good question. Jamie Justa, we did the Hatebreed tour, which was the 20 years Perseverance. That was like a year or two ago now at this point. But we kind of always wanted Jamie on a song because he's awesome and it's Hatebreed. I grew up watching Headbangers Ball with him, like, what would you call it? Being the host for it. And then like just kind of listening to that band anyway. And then I feel like everybody pretty much listened to that band, even if Carter didn't really listen to him when he was younger, or, you know, like whatever. It's one of those bands that's like been around for so long that it's like, I don't know. It's like getting, I don't know.
I watched Headbangers Ball and I knew who he was.
Yeah, you just weren't like a fan,
But I never like got into Hatebreed growing up.
Yeah, so like
I think they kick ass now.
Yeah, it's like a larger than life person. You know what I mean? Like I listened to that band when I was younger, and I know Chris did, and obviously Kyle Shipp. They're kind of like older anyway, but it was just like one of those things where like we did that tour and then we had that song done and we were like, well, who would kind of fit the vibe of this? And we had a couple people in mind, but that was like the one that would probably benefit us the most and make sense for it. So we hit him up and he was into it, and then we got him to do it. And then we also got him in the video because Eric, who's done a couple of our videos, he lives up north. So he was able to meet up with him and do that. But as far as people that I would want on a song, I don't know.
Maybe Matt from Boundaries, just because like he's awesome.
Yeah, they're on the come up too. They're getting really big.
They are. That's crazy, man. It's crazy to see all the growth from you guys. Like all you guys are getting bigger and bigger each tour too.
It's pretty crazy. Maybe Matt from Kubla Khan.
Oh, that
would be awesome.
That'd be pretty cool. I don't know, because it's hard to say, because like we have songs that are like obviously more like hardcore driven, like that sort of sound, and then we have songs that are like more kind of metal riffy. So it's like hard to say, but also it like works in our favor because we can have a little bit more what's the word? We can have more I don't know, more of a choice, I guess, because it's like it's more it's got a broader sound. But I don't know.
It would have to be up to the song, like who would fit best on the specific song.
I mean, at this point, I'm pretty much just down for either being friends or just people that I think that their band kicked a lot of ass. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down with whoever. I think Phil Bozeman would be cool. He never does any spots.
That would be a really cool.
I mean, he's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool.
What I'd love to ask bands is like, so you guys have a specific sound and you guys have for like a lot of years. What album do you feel shaped Bodysnatcher for you guys?
Oh, dude. Probably Acacia Strain, Continent, Immure, Goodbye to the Gallows. Any of those older bands, like at least for me, when we started, that was like we were like, we just want to be like a heavier band. There was a band, the dude that like sometimes tours with us and does photography for us.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a band called Demolisher. That was like one of the bands when we started. We were like, that's the band we want to sound like, and they're no longer a band. But I don't know, just any of those older bands. That's kind of what influenced me, and I think that's kind of like what we initially when we first started. That's like what we wanted to like emulate. Yeah. But as of now, I feel like it's just more so like any of those.
Yeah, I don't know if any like specific bands influence me. I'm sure every band that I listen to like subconsciously influences what I write later that day, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. For a while, I was really big into like old Die Artist Murder. So I had like a lot more like blast beaty deathcore stuff. Mm-hmm. And now I don't really listen to much like blast beat stuff. So I guess I'm incorporating less of that into what I'm writing recently.
Molotov Solution.
Yeah. Love old Acacia Strain.
Dude.
Love Kubla Khan. Kubla Khan's one of my favorites.
Dude, if you go back and listen to like Continent, Acacia Strain, and you go listen to Goodbye to the Gallows, oh my god, both of those albums are still awesome. You're like, dude, like I was like not like, dude, like I literally will listen to those like just even unbiased. Like if you just are like, I want to listen to these albums, they both rock still. You're like, how was this written 20 years ago? I don't understand. Like it's crazy how stuff like that can age so well, and then like some stuff won't age well, but it's just crazy that like stuff like that was so ahead of its time, I guess you could say. But for me, as far as like if you want to talk about like I guess what lyrically and or like what like how you want your like how would we be influenced or whatever, I'd probably say like early Acacia Strain, early Immure, probably just because if you listen to those albums, both of them have very like the way the lyrics are written, even if they're simple and or even if like it's like they get their point across, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of those lines are very creative in the way they get their point across. You're like, whoa, like like another problem that you can run into an issue with is like if you're writing lyrics that are like supposed to be mean, you're like, wow, that sounds mean, and then you go look and you're like, oh, Acacia Strain said it 20 years ago already, or Amir already said it 20 years ago. You're like, god damn it, because it's like those bands laid a lot of like foundation, you know.
I agree, man. And you guys are like getting ready to go on tour for Fit for an Autopsy with this new record, well, EP. How's your approach with making a set list, and how many new songs are you guys going to put in there?
Oh, they're all all the new songs besides one of them is what we're going to do for this upcoming tour. I think we only had like a 45-minute set, so it was tough fitting in all the bangers. We had to take out one that we've been playing for a really long time that all of us love, but it's not as popular as far as like streaming goes. And with those shorter set lists, you kind of have to favor what people are listening to rather than like the deep cut type stuff. So with the new EP, we were able to fit pretty much all of it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And on future tours, we are going to be playing all of the entire EP, just because with it being an EP, it's going to have a shorter lifespan, like shorter like album cycle, I guess.
Yeah.
So we want to play all of them as many times as we can before we have even newer stuff.
And you're able to fit all of it
play
in.
Them all. Yeah.
We can fit all of it in because I think it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably maybe 30 minutes, 20-something minutes, maybe something like that. So, I mean, you can fit all of that in and then also play other stuff. So, but, yeah, I mean, it'll be cool. we pretty much, I think we just got done with the couple festivals in Europe, so I think we're playing like pretty much the same set, but we maybe added or took away one.
Nice. And with you talking about that, like, do you feel like with this these 6 songs, was there any songs on stage you guys felt like like a lot of energy for between each other?
I think Human Disdain is my favorite one to play. I think it flows really well for like playing wise. Infested, awesome. I can't wait to play it in the States. We've only played that one in Europe so far, so not a whole lot of people knew it, but people were like still super into it. So I'm excited for the States where we're like known a little bit better, and people will like know the words. I'm hoping.
Right.
So I think that one has a lot of energy.
That's probably my favorite to play.
Murder 8 is has been a really great song to play, like reaction wise and everything.
Oh yeah.
But I vibed the hardest with Human Disdain for sure.
Oh yeah.
I would probably say Infested and Murder 8 pretty much get the best like energy / like reaction, I guess. I mean, there's always going to be a reaction when you play a fat breakdown, but like I think as well as when the people know the parts, it's like plays into your
right.
I don't completely I didn't know how to finish that sentence, but it definitely helps.
And you guys done some cool tours already. If you guys could have a dream tour lineup that you haven't done, what would it be?
Dude, I could answer that immediately. If you told me right now, I know they already did it, which sucks because I wish we could have done that. But I would love to do any of the like legacy big bands when they like do the classic albums. Like Whitechapel already did Somatic. They already did This Is Exile, so that would have probably been my answers. Acacia Strain did Continent already, and they already did Wormwood, so those counts those out. The last one that I could think of would be Goodbye to the Gallows and Muir. If they decided to do that, I would be like,
that would be cool.
That would be insane because they haven't played some of those songs in like 20 years. So that, I think if we could do that, it would probably be Ymir, us, and whoever's below us. I would love to do a legacy tour like that. Or I would love to do something with like A Day to Remember or even Beartooth. I think Beartooth's awesome.
Yeah, A Day to Remember and Beartooth. Those have been on the list.
This is
on the list for a while.
Another one that you probably don't see coming from me, but I would love to do a tour with Silverstein.
That'd be sick.
That would be.
I think
awesome.
that band's awesome.
It'd be interesting, but that'd be sick.
Yeah.
I love.
Hey, we've done crazier things. We just did a tour with We Came as Romans, so don't count it out.
Right?
Yeah, I would love to do Silverstein tour. That band rules.
That would be cool.
Probably Parkway Drive too. I mean, if Parkway Drive ever did like, not even I wouldn't even be opposed to doing the like if they played all the newer stuff, but if they play like some of the older stuff, I'd be stoked. I would love to do Parkway Drive. That was like a band I listened to in middle school. That was just like awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys have accomplished a lot already in your career, and you guys are getting bigger as you go. What's left on your bucket list, and what would you love to accomplish before the end of the year?
Tour with more legacy bands so that I can say that we did it. I just want to do that.
More festivals on like, main stage festival stuff would be awesome.
Yeah.
We just got back from Europe doing all the festivals over there for the first time, which was still really cool. But to do that again on like main stages, that would be insane. Like seeing the difference.
Like later in the day and bigger crowd and whatever. Not to say that we didn't play in front of a shitload of people every day.
We still did great, but just like bucket list stuff for the future. I always am gonna want the next big thing, We're always gonna want to play like to more people and play bigger things.
I just want to do all the legacy bands before they break up.
I agree.
That's what I would want to do. Like if you asked me, I would say probably, I know I've said their name already a bunch of times, probably Ymir, Whitechapel, Acacia Strain, Day to Remember, just any of those Prada, Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
Don't forget your Silverstein. You can't forget your Silverstein.
I would love to do Silverstein.
That'd be cool.
Just any of those bands. I would love to do that before and not to say that we haven't already done a few of them already, because we have. But we did Immure, we did We Came as Romans, we've done Hatebreed, we've
Dying
done
Fetus,
Chelsea Grin, Dying Fetus. We've done all those, and I just want to do as many as we can, just so that like I can be like, yeah, I did it.
Yep.
That's like the thing for me, is that like I just want to do stuff that, like, yeah, you're gonna play festivals and like you're gonna play big ass shows, but like to me, I think it's like means more, at least to me, to be able to be like, yeah, we did a Whitechapel tour. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be cool. So where can everyone keep up with you guys, and also what else can we expect from you guys this year?
More tours. We've got a couple more things booked for this year that aren't announced, or we've got one more thing that isn't announced for this year. And we've got a few things for next year that aren't announced.
Yep.
Just a lot more touring. Recording next year. That's all I got.
So if you want to keep up with us, all of our socials are pretty much on. I mean, we're on pretty much every platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. So you can pretty much find us under the same tag. I think it's Bodysnatcher Florida or Bodysnatcher FL or whatever. I'm sure you'll see it. It's the one with the blue check mark. Right. I think we have a blue check mark, so
yeah,
should be the correct one. And then as far as like music and stuff, you can find us on pretty much anything. It's like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. I couldn't tell you the other ones.
All the other ones.
Yeah, you know the ones. We're pretty much on all of those. So as far as that goes, you can pretty much find us. As far as updates, all of our social medias, and then if you want to follow any of us personally, when you go to the band page, I'm sure that we have all of our handles already there. So other than that, yeah, I mean we just tore a whole ton. We just announced Stick to Your Guns for next year in Europe. And then we do Lorna Shore in February.
Hell yeah.
In Australia.
In Australia, yeah, that's what it is. And then and then we have more tours and more stuff. It's just basically I gotta just wait until it is unveiled.
Right.
Oh, we just announced a collab with Heavies, the headphones.
Oh
yeah, dude.
Today, and they're awesome.
Right. Yeah. I want to get a pair of those really bad.
They're dope.
That's gonna be cool. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for taking the time and being on my show.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks for having both of us. I know it was your first time doing an interview with two people.
Right.
Yeah,
so
I feel like that went by.
Thank you.
Went by pretty quick. So
I'm in the interview.